Tim. Go ahead when you're ready, my brother.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done,
thy will be done,
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts.
and forgive us our debts,
As we forgive our debtors.
we forgive our debtors,
And lead us not into
and
temptation,
lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name,
Amen.
amen.
All right. All good. Okay, peace. So we just doing a little test real quick. We should be back online, brothers and sisters. Yes, we are. I think the sound is good too. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right, so we back online. And we're going to try to do a quick Q&A session. So I asked earlier if we had any questions in-house, but I didn't get anything. So I know we're going to probably have some online. What's up? Oh, you got one, bro? What's up, Tim?
Me and Tim was talking about the age of accountability.
Okay.
As far as like, I don't know what holds you responsible for, you know. I'm not sure where I heard it, but
Mm-hmm.
do we use Numbers 14:28, Joshua and Caleb, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that was 20 and younger
Mm-hmm.
died in the wilderness.
Stay back there. Mm-hmm.
So would that be like kind of the age we would use, like 20? We could read that in the wilderness, anybody that was 20 and under
Right.
was able to go.
Correct.
20 and up was not.
Correct.
Except for Joshua and Caleb.
Except for Joshua and Caleb. That's correct. Yeah, Joshua and Caleb were the only ones that were above that age of 20, right? That made it. Everybody else got cut off, and the ones that were spared by the Lord were the ones that were 20 and under. So I guess the question is, do we use the age 20 as the benchmark for accountability, the age of accountability? And I guess it kind of depends what you're talking about. I mean, because we see with the Lord has, he has poured out judgment on all different types of ages, younger than 20, for doing wrong, right? So we looking at the Lord's judgment, we can see that all throughout. We see that on children, right? We see that on sons and daughters, right? So I guess the question then becomes, what are we talking about, right? Because ultimately, when it comes to the Lord is judging based on what you know, right? He's judging based on what you know. You know what I'm saying? But I think as a general, rule of thumb, we talked about this. We talked about even about the age of baptism, right? And we said that, we can't really read where you have to be 20 to get baptized. You can't read that in the book. But, you could be 18 and you could know right from wrong. You could know that you want to serve God. And if you're asking me personally, now you can speak to the elders, but if you're asking me personally, I don't personally see a problem with baptizing somebody that's 18. If they realize that they want to serve the Most High God. 18, that's a legal limit. That's an age of accountability in this country, right? So you should have some type of wherewithal about yourself to know, what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, we could take a look at it, right? Like again, we know that there's examples of the Lord killing people, killing kids for sinning, for doing wrong, right? So, but let's take a look at it. You also see the age of like 25, right, with the priesthood. You see that age dealing with taking care of duties, and then you see the age of a lot of people doing things at the age of 30 in the Bible. So you see different ages for different things all throughout the scripture, right? But the biggest thing is knowledge. The biggest thing is, what do you know, right? So where did you mention though, bro? It was Numbers what, 14?
14 and start 27, probably.
All right, bro. Yeah, you can pick it up at 14 and 27 when you get it, my brother.
Numbers 14 and 27.
Uh-huh.
How long shall I bear with this evil congregation, which murmur against me? I have heard the murmuring of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in mine ear, so will I do to you. Your carcasses shall fall in the wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me.
Ooh.
Doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. But your little one, which he said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised.
Right. So yeah. So that's good. That's just recapping what bro said. So I mean that says what it says, right? So but let's go back and see something. Let's go back. I want to see something. Let's go to Deuteronomy, one chapter over. One chapter forward. Deuteronomy. I want to show us something in Deuteronomy 6 because the Lord spared the people that was 20 and younger. That's what he chose to do there, right? Well, he doesn't always do that. So let's show you when you're supposed to know about the Lord, how you're supposed to get taught about the Lord, and at what point in your life. Deuteronomy 6 and verse 1.
Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Right.
That thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged.
That thy days may be prolonged. That's really important, right? It's talking about you living in the land, right? So that's what the commandments are for, to keep your life. Go ahead, bro.
Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy father hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
So it said to thy children, right? Go ahead.
And when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Yep. So all the time, in the morning, in the evening, you supposed to be rehearsing the commandments, just like we saw with the Passover and unleavened bread, right? To your children. Go ahead.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand. And they shall be a frontlet between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, so we see that that's supposed to be the order, right? We know children are the future. We know we're supposed to raise them up, and we see that that's when they're supposed to learn. They're supposed to be trained up in this word, brothers and sisters. So let's go over to Deuteronomy 21 now, and I want to show you something right here, because we're talking about accountability, right? So we gotta look at what the Lord is saying in His law about accountability, right? So let's look at that, Deuteronomy 21, and you can pick it up at verse 18, bro. What does it say?
Verse 18.
Yep.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto him. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
Yeah, he's a gluttonous man and a drunkard. So you are clearly old enough. It doesn't put an age on it, but you're old enough to do this, right? You're old enough to drink, right? So it doesn't say 20 and over, but if you old enough to act grown and you know better, that's when the Lord's holding you accountable, brothers and sisters. Right? Does that make sense? Because it says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, right? It didn't put an age on that, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, right? And that when they have chastened him, so check this out though. Think about this, right? Because he's old enough to act grown and drink and act crazy, right? And not listen, right? But he's also young enough to still get beaten by his parents. Right? So that's what I'm saying. That's why we read to get, to get the understanding and the context. Because it just said he didn't listen to his mama, right? It said, or the voice of his mother. And that when they have chastened him, he's still not listening. Right? So then the next line of defense is verse 19, when it says, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out to the elders of the city. Right? And unto the gate of his place. Right? And our communities used to be like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like before the 70s, going back to the 50s and the 40s and stuff like that, even the 60s, we were more communal. After that, even the way they built houses were more communal, and the elders would sit in the front, right? Even down south, bro can attest, back down south, even though the DMV is technically south, we below the Mason-Dixon, but we not south. Once you, when I'm talking about DC, you know what I'm saying? But once you get Maryland, Virginia, you talking about the South. But when you get further south, you can even see it more, where they would have their houses set up where you hear those stories about the elders being on the porch, looking at the kids, and being responsible for the kids, right? And everybody's you know, the neighbors all knew each other and they had the right to discipline the children if they was cutting up, right? But nowadays, even the way they build houses, brothers and sisters, are more so selfish or self-centered, where your community is not like that no more. You know, now the focus is the back of the house, not the front of the house, because you're more so worried about your own business, not the business of other people. Because notice right here, it said it took them out unto the elders of the city, unto the gate of his place. Right? That's why I'm mentioning that, because it's a complete different landscape today. Right? It says, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Now check this out. So they tried everything. They tried talking to him. They tried reasoning with him. They gave him some space to get his act together. They took him. Now they tried to beat him. He still didn't listen. And they tried to discipline him. He still ain't listen. And now he took him to the elders. And clearly this son is a problem. So now what happens next? Verse 21.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
And all Israel shall hear and fear. And notice what the problem was. He was breaking the commandments, and obviously he knew better, because he was told and he didn't change. He was rebellious. That's the problem. So we have to, you know, and the Lord said rebellion is like the sin of witchcraft. Right? We can read that. Pride and rebellion, brothers and sisters, is like witchcraft. Right? But keep reading, bro.
22.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree.
Mm.
His body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God.
Right.
That thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance.
Okay, that's good. So now let's go over, and this is, we all know this. We should all know this up in here, but for good measure, let's just read about the story in 2 Kings, because we're not going to limit this to no specific age when it comes to God's judgment, because we don't want people to think that they can get off just because they're young. Right? We got a couple of youngins up in here, right? We don't want them to think that it's sweet just because they're young. So, 2 Kings chapter 2. Like we said, we need to understand the goodness and severity of the Lord. I don't see it. Am I tripping? Yeah, I must have been tripping. Thank you, brother. So let's pick it up at verse 23. Thank you, bro. 2 Kings 2 and 23. Go ahead, bro.
And he went up from thence unto Bethel.
Yep.
And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him,
Yep.
and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head.
Oh my goodness, that's what kids like to do, right? They like to Joan, right? And they like to roast. And y'all know we some big kids because we keep doing it as we get older, right? We keep doing it, right? But check it out, because this is obviously now some little children, right? So now we done seen what the Lord did with with some of the older folks, right? And he spared children that were 20 and younger. But now we seeing that the Lord, based on what you know and based on how you move, the Lord doesn't just set the bar at a specific age when it comes to judgment for accountability. Because accountability is based on what you do, your actions, right? Because we just read what we read in Deuteronomy. Now we are dealing with little children, right? There came forth little children out of the city and mocked him. Who did they mock? Elisha. Who was Elisha? A prophet of God who came after the prophet Elijah, right? And said unto him, what they say? Go up, thou bald head. Go up, thou bald head. Right? Sounding like Martin roasting Tommy. Right? 24.
And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Lord.
He cursed them. Go ahead.
And there came forth 2 sea-bears out of the wood, and tear 42 children of them.
So you talking about children. And these children got. See, the Lord controlled everything on the planet, brothers and sisters. You didn't see Animal Planet, or you didn't see, these National Geographic programs and stuff like that, Planet Life. The Lord controlling all of that. Right? He made these bears go out and kill how many children?
42 children.
42 of them. 42 of them. Alright. So this is just this is just some accountability that we're reading about. But now I also want us to look at something else, because do we have anything online?
Yes,
How many we got online?
2 so far.
2 online. All right, let's go to the book of Numbers, and this will be it for now. Going back to the book of Numbers, and I just want us to also put an age on certain tasks. I think in Numbers 8. Yeah, Numbers 8. Pick it up, bro, at verse 21.
21.
Numbers, matter of fact, verse 20.
Numbers 8, verse 20.
Yes, please.
And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes. And Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord.
Yep.
And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites in to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his son, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, that this is it that belongeth unto the Levites, from 25 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Uh-huh.
And from the age of 50 years, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more,
Shall serve no more. Go ahead.
but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation to keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus shalt thou do unto the Levites touching their charge.
Uh-huh. So that just goes to show, brothers and sisters, you can look at the age if you want to. You can take examples like what we read in Numbers 14 and what we read here when it talks about the service of the Lord, and you can say to yourself, well, yeah, perhaps when it comes to serving the Most High as an adult, that he's looking at you more carefully in your 20s. But that doesn't mean that, going to your younger years, that God isn't repaying and holding you accountable, right? Based on what we've seen. And also I can show you, we don't have time to keep going into everything, but even the disciples were young. A lot of them wanted to go back home. They were trying to stay home and do things with their parents and say bye to their parents. That kind of show you they were kind of young. They lived with their parents and stuff like that. The Lord chose disciples at a young age. You know what I'm saying? They were probably in their teens and, in their teenage years. So you see that as well. But yeah, hopefully that gives a little insight on it. Does that help a little bit? Yeah, okay, cool. So let's look at what we got online. Alright, that's a bet. Let's look at what we got online. I'm gonna try to pull it up, but Brother Jonathan, what we got, my brother?
Okay, so far we have 4 questions.
Okay.
First one is from McNew.
McNew, peace. Can y'all hear us okay? Let us know. We back online, guys. All praises. McNew, what it do? What's she talking
So
about?
her first of 2 questions is, I know that touching dead bodies is bad,
Mm-hmm.
but does that include animals? Because my bio teacher said that we might be dissecting an animal soon.
Okay. So yeah, so McNew is I'm gonna put you out there on blast a little bit, sis. I just to go back to our other question of accountability. You see, we know how young a lot of us know how young Sis McNew is, right? She's not even 16, right? But y'all hear the questions she asks pretty much each week. And why do y'all think that she asks those type of questions? Because she has knowledge of what thus saith the Lord and wants to make sure she's doing right by God. So she already knows she's accountable. Matter of fact, Sis McNew asked to get baptized. Oh man, Sis McNew asked to get baptized when they came from Florida and came down here and visited us. But we told her, nah, even though like we're not gonna put you have to be 21 to be baptized. We're not going to say that. But like 13, 14, we're not going to do that either when it comes to baptism. But you can still know what it is you're doing, right? You can still be accountable and take your life and your walk seriously, right? Because God don't play that. Okay? So I just want to use you as a good example, Sis McNew, just to put you on blast. But let's go over to Leviticus 11, sorry. The dietary law chapter. And let's actually show you what it says about some carcasses of dead animals. Leviticus 11. Because to answer your question real quick, I mean, you'll be okay. I mean, you'll be unclean technically, but everything's unclean in this world that we live in today. So technically, you will be okay.
Right. Now, should you go out of your way to touch that carcass? I wouldn't. I wouldn't suggest you touch it if you don't have to. But sometimes you have to, right? And it just means that you're unclean, right? It doesn't mean that you're about to be cut off or anything. And unclean doesn't necessarily mean sin in this regard when it comes to you touching things too, right? But if you eat it, that's a sin. All right, so let's show you what we're talking about. Pick it up at verse 11 and 1, bro. What it say?
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed and sheweth the cud among the beasts, they shall eat.
So you have to have criteria, right? Go ahead.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof as a camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
Mhm.
He is unclean unto you.
He is unclean unto you. So you cannot eat anything that doesn't have the qualifications that God's outlining here. He's going to give you some examples. Go ahead.
And the cunning, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
He is unclean unto you. Now let's skip down to verse 7. What does it say?
And the swine,
The swine. Oh man, our people love that. Right? The whole world loves some swine, loves some pork. And the swine, go ahead.
though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
He is unclean unto you. But now, what does it say in verse 8?
Of the flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
All right, so it wasn't just dead bodies, right? Like, you want to see a dead body? Right? It wasn't just that, right? And we read about that in Numbers 19. But it was also the carcasses of dead animals, brothers and sisters, that we weren't supposed to touch. Now, like I said, you might find yourself in a situation where you may have to kill and touch a dead animal today. You might have an unclean rodent in your house that you have to deal with. You might have to kill a snake, you know what I'm saying, in your yard or something like that. Now, that's not going to be a sin unto you, you know, but understand if you do something like that. But what you don't want to do is eat these things for sure, right? And if you can stay away from them, if you don't have to touch it, don't touch it. If you can be excused from the science class for that particular day or project or whatever, if you want to read them this, you know, if you can be excused and do something else and just maybe examine it somehow, then tell your teacher, I'd rather do that because of what the Bible says. Right?
What about 24?
24? Okay, bro, want to bring up 24. What did it say, bro?
And for these shall ye be unclean.
Uh-huh.
Whosoever touches the carcasses of them shall be unclean unto the evil.
Exactly. And you might as well read 25. Go ahead.
And whosoever beareth out of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean unto the evil.
Exactly. So that's a good point. So, and that's why I'm saying it wasn't like a sin, right? It's not like eating it, you know, but you would be unclean, right? So if you don't want to be unclean, don't touch it, right? This is why I'm saying it's not a sin, right? But eating it, you know, that is a sin, right? And unclean just means, brothers and sisters, that what it says, unclean. That's all it means. All right. So that's that on that. Does she have a part 2 to that?
I have a question to that.
Oh yeah, you got a question to that? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So would it, because it said basically that these shall be, like you just read 24, and these shall be unclean for whoever touches the carcasses of them.
Yep.
And before them it explained all the unclean animals, so does that just apply to unclean carcasses, or does that apply to both?
All.
To all carcasses?
Yeah, no, so it's just to unclean. Cause it say it right there, unclean. Cause remember the clean, that's a good question. Because remember the clean animals, they were sacrificed.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you had to deal with those
Right.
bodies.
Right.
So so that didn't apply to them, you know, unless the Lord says that, but right here we just read unclean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So unclean carcasses.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, and of course the blood too. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess that it will be any carcass because everything bleeds. So, but it definitely, that was just a question I wanted to know. Is it the unclean animals that makes you unclean,
Mm-hmm.
or would it be for like every carcass because of the blood in itself? And then that goes back to like when they put the blood on the doorpost, were they unclean because they did that? You
Right.
know. So it's
Right.
like, is it talking about unclean animals that you're touching in their carcasses, or just all animals in general?
Oh well. Yeah, I'm reading it again.
Yeah.
It says, and for these shall ye be unclean, whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean. I think 26 answers the question. Because when I first read it, I thought it said the unclean, I thought it said unclean beasts.
Right.
But it's actually looking like, once you go to 26, we're going to keep reading some more. 25 says, and whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean to the evening. Read verse 26, bro.
The carcasses of every beast shall divide the hoof.
Which divided the hoof.
Which divided the hoof.
Uh-huh.
And it is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Everyone that toucheth them shall be unclean.
Okay, so in this case, it kind of spells out that, again, we going back to the criteria of unclean, right? The ones that are unclean. Keep reading, bro.
And whatsoever goeth upon his powers among all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean unto you.
Uh-huh.
Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the evening.
Right. So he keeps mentioning the unclean. Go ahead, keep going.
And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean unto you.
They are unclean unto you. Right? So now let's skip down to verse 30 and read verse 30 and 31 and see what that says.
And the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole, these are unclean to you.
These are unclean unto you. Go ahead.
All that among all that these are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever does touch them when they be dead shall be unclean. until the
Again,
evening.
okay, so we are seeing that the stipulation for being unclean to the evening is seeing that they were unclean animals to begin with. We keep seeing that. That's why I wanted to keep reading to see if we see a distinction. But we keep seeing the unclean, right? Okay, let's keep going.
Verse 32.
Yep.
And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, does fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the evening. So it shall be cleansed.
Uh-huh. Okay, so that's what we keep seeing. I just wanted to read and make sure. And then skip down to verse 46 and 47. Go ahead.
This is the law of the beast, and of the fowls, and of every living creature that moveth in the water, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
Right. So I guess with the clean ones, we don't see that stipulation of being unclean until the evening with the clean ones, but we see it with the unclean ones.
As far as touch.
As far as touching the
That's
carcass.
right.
Touching carcass.
Yeah.
Because if you would have taken the Passover, you would have been unclean for Passover.
Right.
For cooking meats and
Right.
all of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah. Yep. So let's go ahead and see what the part two. So hopefully that helps with that.
yeah.
Let's see what the part two is.
Question number 2. In John 21, verse 7, Simon Peter was fishing with the other disciples, but when Jesus came, he put on a fisher's coat because he was naked. So does naked just mean that he didn't have a shirt on? Or was it normal for people to go out fishing naked back then?
Oh yeah. Now I don't think he was completely clothed, unclothed. But let's read it. I do remember reading that. But let's read it.
That's John 21, verse 7.
Yeah, 21. All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and read it, bro.
First John 21,
Mm-hmm.
start us out.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 1. After these things, Jesus showed himself.
Oh no, you can pick it up. I'm sorry, bro. You can pick it up at verse 7. We can
Verse
just jump
Okay.
into it. Yeah.
So verse 7. Therefore, that the disciples whom Jesus loved said unto Peter, It is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he got his fisher's coat unto him, for he was naked, and did cast himself into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not far from land, but as it was 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. As soon then as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon and bread. Jesus said unto them,
Okay, that's good. That's good. So yeah, you know, now I don't know. You know, it's not neither here nor there if he was like completely, but I did just see something about how back in the day that these fishers would have to dive into the water to put their nets out in the water, so they wouldn't have on a lot of clothes. You see, because they were diving, going in and out of the water. So if they were fishing and that was like the culture of how they fished back then, he would have had on, just like people go in, you know, they just have their swimming trunks on, right? And so, yeah, that's that. I don't think people were just randomly. Don't think about it like today. He was doing like, you know, kind of more like market fishing, and you see that more so even when you look at Latin America and like third world countries and when they practice older customs and stuff like that. You even see that they just wearing very little. You even see that to this day. So it's different culture. I don't think he was probably completely, but you know what I'm saying? But he might have had just very little on. Alright? Because like I said, they would jump in the water, cast their nets wide and stuff like that. Alright? So hopefully that helps with that. But you can let us know. So what else we got?
Okay.
If there's anything in here, guys, just let me know. If somebody got a question, Sister Vicky, anybody got a question?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Next one is from Amazing Hadassah.
Hadassah.
In Revelation, what is the job and purpose of those sealed in Revelation 7, and who are they besides their tribes?
Let's go to it. Okay, I'm at Revelation 7. Can you read it one more time, please? I'm sorry.
Sure. In Revelation, what is the job and purpose of those sealed in Revelation 7? And who are they besides their tribes?
Okay, so what is their purpose?
And she wants to know who are those that are sealed in Revelation 7.
Yeah, but she said something about their purpose.
Yeah. So what is the job / purpose of those sealed in Revelation 7?
Okay, so why are they sealed? Can you answer that, Hadassah? Are you trying to ask why are they sealed?
I think she's trying to say who are those that are sealed and what are they sealed for? What are the reasons and what is the purpose of them being sealed?
The purpose of them being sealed? Yeah, okay. So yeah, just clarify that. Well, we know off the bat that these 144 are from the 12 tribes of Israel, right? It's from each tribe, right? So we got 12,000 from each tribe of the house of Israel. So that's the who, right? But to answer the question as to why, if you're saying why they're being sealed, we're gonna see that as well too. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, teacher, yes, that's what she said.
Okay, what she said. Okay, what are they going to do?
Yeah, so I guess she's going to the part of the 144 being sealed, and maybe those are the ones that is meeting Christ and coming back down on top of Mount Sinai. I guess she's trying to figure out, is that them? Is that their job? Are they going to be the ones fighting with Christ, or are they just sealed and waiting for the Great Tribulation to end? Like, what are they being sealed for?
Okay, yeah. We're gonna see what's their purpose of being sealed.
Yeah.
And that's all you see that right here in the same chapter. The Lord is kind of gonna make it plain as to why they're sealed, because there's actually a big misunderstanding on this whole 144. You got a lot of Hebrews, a lot of Hebrew artists that be rapping about it, singing about it, and talking about it all throughout the community. Like, yeah, we need to be a part of the 144, 144 this. You got all types of different, Instagram. You got like all types of hashtags and clothing companies and record labels, 144, 144. But the thing is, brothers and sisters, these, what people don't understand, some people think that these are the people that's going to be saved and that's it. Some people think that only 144,000 are going to be saved and that's it. But no, these 100, hear us clearly and understand, don't get it twisted. These 144,000 that are sealed, they are sealed because they are being spared during Great Tribulation. That's why they're being sealed. They're being sealed to be protected from the destruction of Great Tribulation, meaning they're going to be alive when the whole world is getting destroyed during Great Tribulation. That's why they're sealed. Right? And we're gonna read that. All right. So let's pick it up at verse 1, Revelation 7:1. Revelation 7:1, and pick it up, bro, when you get it.
And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Okay, so this is understand that we talking about a time of destruction that's coming on the earth, brothers and sisters. Verse 2, go ahead.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
To whom it was given to do what?
To hurt the earth and the sea.
To hurt the earth and the sea. They're about to do some damage on this earth, because that's how the Lord does it. You know, he always uses his angels, right, to do some destruction, right? For example, we read about earlier about being the Passover, right? But remember, who was doing the killing on the Passover? If you didn't have that blood on your doorpost, what was doing the killing? An angel. So the Lord has always used his angels to bring destruction. I just wanted to point that out, right? Because that's why it says, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying what? This is important. Verse 3.
Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servant of our God in their forehead.
You see that? The servants of our God in their forehead. So this is what the angels are doing by commandment from God, right? And they're doing this because they're about to bring destruction on the earth. So those that have this seal, the 144, they're not going to be destroyed, right? So that's why it says in verse 4, what did it say, bro?
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So that's who they are, and that's why they're being sealed, so they will not be destroyed when this destruction comes. And this is during the time of great tribulation, and we're going to prove that to you. So let's skip down, because we know that it's 12 from all the different tribes, right? And so let's skip down to verse 10.
And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb.
And unto the Lamb, because the Father and the Son are on the throne in the third heaven. Verse 11.
And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshiped God.
And they worship God, saying what, bro?
Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our God forever and ever. Amen.
Oh man, look at that. That's some glorious, magnificent titles, right? God deserves all the praise. He's the Most High. Go ahead.
And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they?
Okay, so who are these people with these white robes, right? Go ahead.
And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
In the blood of the Lamb, right? Keep reading, bro.
Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat.
Right. So those that were sealed, along with the other nations, right, that believed, because it's the Jew first and the Gentile, they were delivered out of great tribulation, and that's why they were sealed. All right. They were delivered out of great tribulation, and that's why they were sealed. All right, so hopefully that answered your question. I'm still not connected to the internet myself on this one, so I can't see you. I can't see everybody.
Next question.
Yeah, what is it, bro?
Dion.
Dion, what it do, bruh?
My question is, does Satan still look like what Ezekiel 28:13 through 16 described as, or does he look different because he went to the dark side? Like Anakin Skywalker turning to the dark side type of stuff.
Nah, bro, always Dion, bro, you funny, man. Well, let's show you what Satan looks like. He still, he still looks like that cherub angel. From what we know, that's what he looks like. To this day. Alright, good to meet you, bro. Alright, see you soon, bro, Lord willing. Huh? Hey, man, all praises, bro. We look forward to it, bro. Alright, that's a bet, man. Hey, we need some more soldiers, right? We need some more soldiers. All praises, man. Yes, sir. Alright, so, Ezekiel. Huh? No, I don't see anything. Let's. Oh no, we don't do that during service. All right, y'all take care. Good to see y'all. All right.
See you
All right.
someday.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Have a good week. All right.
You too.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Yeah, we don't entertain that during Q&A. Sorry, we just don't. People asking for money and stuff like that. We don't entertain that.
That is the same guy with this same text 2 years ago. I remember it.
Seriously?
Same
Look at that. Look
I
at that.
remember it.
Yeah,
I
we
was
need
on-
to. We
I
need
was
to.
on the computer.
You wow. Same hustle.
Same hustle.
Might be the same guy that be in different chats too.
Probably.
Different classes. You do
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, this is not the time or the place.
Well,
Yeah. he put the spirit fingers on him. he yeah, right. I know, right? Even on the Sabbath. Right. Hustling even on the Sabbath is crazy. All right, so this dude took 24/7 to a whole new meaning. Hustle 24/7. But anyway, let's read Ezekiel 28 because
I asked JD this question when he came the last time.
what you asked him.
What Satan looked like.
Seriously?
Is it that? Or
Okay.
is it still this?
Okay.
13.
13?
Mhm.
What 13 say?
Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God.
Mm-hmm.
Every precious stone which thou covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the
Carbuncle.
and gold, the workmanship of thy tablet and of thy pipe was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created.
In the day that thou was created. Go ahead.
Thou art the anointed cherub, thou art the anointed cherub that covered, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stone of fire.
Uh-huh.
Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee.
Till iniquity was found in thee. Okay. Thou was perfect in thy way. So, to my knowledge, Satan ain't changed, right? Satan ain't changed, cause I can't read about a change. You know, if he did, I didn't get the memo. I don't know what JD said, but I don't remember seeing a change or reading about a change in Satan and how he looks. Yeah. I'm trying to think, cause Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel is where we see these different animals. I mean, these different physical markers of angels, and they resemble what we see in the animal kingdom, right? Like the head of a lion and the eagle and stuff like that, right? So you can read about that and what the cherubs look like earlier in Ezekiel.
Everybody know that same person.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know that same person.
Seriously?
I'm looking at it because it gets across all ICOJ platforms.
Wow. Same story and everything.
Yep.
Wow. That's crazy. He said, help, I feel like I'm dying.
See him.
That's sad. To try to exploit.
That sounds like an addict.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Alright, excuse me, y'all. So, Ezekiel 1, we see what these angels look like, and to my knowledge, y'all, none of these angels have changed their appearance. Whether they be good or evil, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when you watch movies, like when you watch Transformers, or if you watch the Avengers, actually those are two good movies because to reference, because sometimes you can tell that the one is evil on the dark side, or if you talk about Star Wars, sometimes you can tell, but sometimes they all look like each other and you can't tell. You only know based on what they say and who they say they represent, right? So it's we can't just assume that the Lord made them look a certain way just because they're following evil, right? It's just like the wheat gonna grow with the tares, and you know them according to their fruit, not based on what they look like, right? So if you thinking because they're evil, do they have to look evil? Not necessarily, right? Hopefully that makes sense, because that's important to understand. It's not about the physical appearance for that to change, right? Just because you're evil. It's about what you do, and you know them, you identify them based on their actions. All right, so let's see what they look like. Ezekiel 1, these are the cherub angels. And pick it up at verse 5, bro. Is this guy still going?
Now look at that Antonio's
Yeah,
response
Antonio.
to him.
Oh,
Brother Antonio, please.
what's up?
He's like, that story is not believable. Gotta be a little more cunning than that.
It's like the what's that commercial? You gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We gotta be quicker than that. All right, let's pick it up. What's up, Tone? Yeah, we back. Lord willing, we should be back online. All praises. But let's look at this. In verse 5. Yeah, Ezekiel 1 and 5, because we just looking at what these angels look like.
Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
Yep.
And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings.
Yep.
And their feet were straight feet, and the sole on their feet was like the sole of a calf foot.
Yep. Sole of a calf's foot.
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. And they had the hands of a man under the ring upon their 4 sides. And their forehead their faces and their rings. And he told me this one too. And their wings were joined one to another. They turned, not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, their four had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and their four had the face of an ox on the left side, and they four also had the face of an eagle.
Four. Okay, that's a lot of faces. Right? So understand that's what they look like. That's what we see. Now the only thing that happened with Satan and the evil angels that we can read about is they were put under chains of darkness. So you actually can't see them. So even if you know what I'm saying, even if they do look any different, which I doubt it, we're not going to be able to see them. Alright. So do we have any other questions? Hopefully that helped.
Yeah, so it looks like Adasa had a follow-up.
A follow-up.
Oh,
We can do that one follow-up, then we have to get back to our setup.
It says, I assume this is referring back to the question regarding
The Revelation 7.
Revelation 7.
Okay.
And it says, are they sealed from wanting to take the mark? And can those that be in the wilderness during that time also be those sealed?
Okay. So let's slow down and let's see something. So during Great Tribulation, right? If you are sealed, that means that you were following God, meaning that you were not bound to take that mark. You're not going to take that mark, right? From wanting to is we all have free will. So there's going to be people, you're either going to take it or you're not, right? We got songs now saying that we're not taking the mark of the beast. Mm-hmm. Our mind's already made up. Mm-hmm. So these people that seal, it's not even in their mind to take the mark of the beast, right? And about the wilderness, can those that be in the wilderness during that time also be those sealed? So no, because that's two different groups of people. The people that's in the wilderness are already sealed because they're in the wilderness. They have their own sealing, right? All right, peace, fam. All right, we'll be in touch, bro. Yes, sir. So they already have their own seal because they're protected. That seal is just safety. The people in the wilderness, they're in a place of safety. So they're not going to be sealed, right? They made it there. That's their protection. Thing about the seal is just protection. So the people in the wilderness are not going to make up the 144, because remember, the 144, they make it out of Great Tribulation, whereas if you're in the wilderness, you're already protected from Great Tribulation. All right, so hopefully that makes sense.
That was the last one.
All right, cool. That's good. That's good timing because we gotta do some stuff around here anyway. So we're gonna close out. Hopefully everybody's good and that makes sense, and hopefully everybody's ready for Passover and unleavened bread. I'm sorry we did not get to stream the lesson, but it is on Facebook. Okay, so you can go ahead and check it out on our Facebook page if you missed it. All right.
All right.
So we're out, brothers and sisters. Much love and peace till next time.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth
thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Forgive us our debt
and forgive us our
as
debts,
we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our
Lead us
debtors.
not into temptation,
And lead us not into
but
temptation,
deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from
For
evil.
thine is the
For
kingdom,
thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' mighty name,
In Jesus' mighty name.
amen.
Amen.
Amen. So good too.